All right, so let's talk about this. So, Alexander Usyk versus Deontay Wilder. A whole lot of people got hyped up.
Real high level shit.
Remember, I told you guys, I said, I don't even think the fight's going to happen. I said, basically, after accepting Jake Paul versus anybody, and the fact that Jake Paul went in there and got in there with Anthony Joshua, hoping that he could get a, hey man, let's just go through the motions and make it look real, and but don't knock me out, man, don't really hurt me type of scenario. I told you, if you accept anything that Jake Paul does, we really can't complain about boxing, the so-called real boxers, for the simple fact that they're all applauding this. Anytime there's more money involved, they think it's good for the sport. They really, when you think about it, how many of the real fighters have you heard speak up and say, hey man, this shit Jake Paul is doing, it's great that he's helping the women out, and he's helping people to make more money, but as far as him in the ring, nah man, I don't respect what he's doing. Now, the reason why people are not going to say that is, one, they want a chance to hit the lottery as well. And then two, they know that if he was fighting real fighters, he wouldn't be in the position he's in. And what he did was help create a lane of casuals that found their way into boxing to criticize, to tell people how Jake Paul is every bit as good as the real fighters. And this is why we needed Anthony Joshua to go in there and punish him and not play with him. But he broke his jaw in two different places with one punch. And pretty much everybody saw him go in there and run. And even the veterans, people in the sport, talking about he showed tremendous heart and all that because he went in there and ran, held onto the man's leg and fell all over the floor. Now, so I said to you guys, if you're going to accept that shit, because we can't pick and choose which circus fight is okay and which is not, is all circus shit. And even like the fight between Shakur and T.O., even though it's happening, who's really talking about it? It's not making headlines. It's not seen as a big deal. This is not Ray Leonard versus Harris. It's not treated like that. This isn't Ray Leonard versus Hagler. This isn't Mayweather versus Pacquiao. Nobody's treating it like that. So all of these different things that people overlook, I pay attention to. All of it. I told you guys, if you're going to accept anything with Jake Paul, then when it comes to the top level fighters or the guys that still have some, have names, what can you really say? Nobody's on the same page when it comes to standing up against bullshit. So it is what it is. And I said, if you're going to have Jake Paul versus anybody, why not Wilder versus Usyk? But like I told you guys, I don't really care for any of those fights. Why? One, for Wilder, it would just be a last hurrah, because I believe Usyk would beat the shit out of him and stop him. But two, it's not like Wilder earned anything. Now, we watch a guy like Joseph Parker fight and fight and fight and fight, and he was winning fights. He was winning fights. Now, think about when Robert Helenius won 3 fights against people we don't give a shit about, and then he ends up in the ring with Wilder, and they talk to y'all like this was some Super Bowl fight. And I told you, come on, man. Come on, Helenius. And it's the same guy that tested positive in the AJ fight, right? But at the end of the day, I told you guys, back then, any fighter that has a 3-fight winning streak, they all of a sudden now just get shots over other people. Now, this wasn't a title shot, but it was the point of Deontay Wilder had won, that fight. Now, here's my thing. They put him in the title eliminator. Andy Ruiz, on the other hand, had won 2 title eliminators. The winners are supposed to face each other. But if all one fighter has to do is say, you're overpricing yourself, so no fight, then what's the purpose? And that was my thing. So you don't have to earn fights. You just get put in a position because somebody has money to make it happen. And this is part of where Turkey Al-Sheikh is helping, but he's also hurting in that sense. Because just because I like you, I want to give you another shot. What has Wilder done to earn another shot? Anthony Joshua, you know, I don't feel like earned another shot against Usyk. Tyson Fury didn't earn another shot. Dubois, look, they all had 2 shots apiece and they all lost. Okay? So they didn't earn anything. Wilder has lost back-to-back losses, came back before the guy ranked 238, and this warrants him to get a title shot. So, yeah, I get all of, yeah, but he just want to be able to say he beat everybody of that era, right? But you didn't beat everybody in that era, right, when they were on top of the world. Not taking nothing from Usyk, what I'm saying, okay, AJ was still, you know, he wasn't the same as we seen him before that. But bottom line, he was still, AJ was still, you know, he was still good. Wasn't quite the same, but was still good. Tyson Fury, what I'm saying. As far as Deontay let too much time go by. So what I'm saying is the timing with Deontay, even for him to go in there and beat Deontay, so what? Just to have it on your resume? Wait, how the fuck can you guys be okay with that? Aren't y'all the same fucking people that when Roy Jones is spitting that bullshit, saying shit like, Floyd ain't beat nobody in his prime, Floyd ain't beat nobody that was on his level in his prime and all that shit? Oh, really? So we gonna take Usyk, even though he's, you know, in the same age group, the same way, regardless, doesn't matter. But bottom line, we just gonna take Usyk and act like him beating Wilder is something special. So Joseph Parker beat Wilder. Zhang Zhang beat Wilder. So wouldn't it make more sense to fight the winners and not the loser? But at the same time, Joseph Parker loses. And what did Joseph Parker tell us? That he was promised a shot at Usyk. We don't even know if that would have actually happened, though, because boxing is shady as hell. But instead of giving Fabio, we got to find something that's more of a money fight, something that's bigger. They feel like this. There's more people that would be interested in a Wilder fight, possibly because you got people thinking, man, maybe he just got that one last right hand left in him or whatever. So, yeah, and you can't sit up here and applaud this bullshit, trying to make excuses and logic for it. I get it. But what sense does it make? So what? At this point, Wilder is completely washed. Completely. He was already one-dimensional and basically took baby steps to get to where he was and fought the right people. And as soon as he stepped up, you see what happened. Well, if y'all excuse was he was old then at 37, 38, well, goddamn, he's older now. Okay, and Usyk hasn't showed us that he's not the same Usyk. But Wilder has showed us that he's not even the same Wilder. So just for Usyk to have him on his, this is nothing but easy money, right? I'm going to go in there, slap him around, stop him. Now I can say I beat all of them. Okay, it's on paper, but the reality is we know that Wilder's done. Now guess what? That fight's not happening. Now what did I tell you guys before? I said, if these guys are smart, you bring Wilder back, give him a Joe Joyce. Give him a Derek Chisora, a Dillian White. Did I not say that to you guys? And they can pull that same bullshit that, hey, man, he has a 3-fight winning streak against guys that have respect on their name but are not the same anymore. Did I not say that? So now, guess what? He's not fighting Usyk. He's fighting Derek Chisora. That's who Wilder is getting ready to fight. I told you guys, man, he can't afford another loss. He went way past what I said, and he fought a guy ranked 238 in the world. I told you then, Wilder is just trying to get one last payday. Y'all still want to believe that shit? Oh, I want to fight 3-4 times. Yeah, no, Wilder's trying to cash out. But he knows for him to do that, he needs some momentum. Okay? You got to understand, this younger generation of casuals coming up that, hey, they might not know much about Wilder, Fury, and all that. All right, you know, you understand? So they come in here now, and it's like, all right, we're cheering for, you know, Moses Atama and the newer guys. He's going to need some momentum. And the best way you can get momentum, if you're going to fight 3 times, fight the guys that have respect on their name, but they're done. You're done. And that way, that gives you the best chance that you can to get to a position where the next guy can come in there and knock you out and then you can cash out. because all that thinking he still got the right hand, or hoping whatever, all of that shit. What I'm telling you guys, right? I'm telling you, plain and simple. Deontay wants one last big payday, and he knows that the more he gets in the ring, it's a risk that he will lose, and the more that he, steps up in competition, there's a bigger risk. So I take the lighter road, so that way I got a better chance of not losing. You don't think that his people talk to him? You don't think somebody's advising him? So I don't care about people saying, but Usyk ain't want to fight him. What does Usyk gain? If I'm in Usyk's corner, see, I can't really say that because the relationship and where he, I don't know all the behind the scenes, all the details all behind the scenes. But me looking from what I see, look, I'm the kind of person like this. If I'm holding the belt and I still know I'm the best motherfucker out there, the landscape ain't too deep. But here's what I'm saying. Usyk really don't have anything else to prove. This is up to him if he want to keep fighting. But if you want to do the right thing, fight Fabio Wardley, man. And then if you feel like you want one fight after that, fight Moses Atama. Then truthfully, who's left? I mean, like, what is left for you to do after that? I mean, you could walk now. Your legacy, you are considered the best fighter of this era, regardless. At the end of the day, though, if you're not going to fight a Fabio Wardley who beat Joseph Parker, who, according to Joseph Parker, that he was going to, be, and even Frank Warren said this shit. Even fucking Eddie Hearn said this shit. So it must have been true that he was promised, whether it was going to actually happen or not, because there's a bunch of bullshit, like I said, that goes on in the sport of boxing. But yeah, he was promised that fight. Okay. But Fabio Wardley won. This is the same thing that happened, man. When Deontay Wilder got beat by Joseph Parker. Instead of Joseph Parker versus Anthony Joshua 2. Nah, see, y'all overlooked that bit about Turki Al-Sheikh. That fight's not big enough. What did he say to Eddie Hearn? Who could we replace Wilder with where it's going to be worth a $50 million fight? Like we could, pay $50 million to AJ and, whatever. Because, Ngannou, I think they said Ngannou got 20 or whatever. But bottom line, shit, that's 20 million. Bottom line is this. They went with what they consider a bigger money fight versus the person that earned the shot. If Wilder had to win his fight to get to AJ, AJ had to win his fight to get to Wilder. Okay, AJ won, Wilder lost. Why Parker get overlooked? See, and y'all was overlooking Turkey's bullshit even then. And I told y'all then, he has a lane for himself, yes. And people will watch what he's doing. But see, ego and greed is not good. It's not good. And what's going to end up happening is the people that deserve the shot, well, we don't care. You don't draw. Terrence Crawford went for that. Why y'all think it took him so late in his career to finally get to that point? And Terrence Crawford walking away was the best thing for him? Because if not, and you're not going to fight the guys, like when people sit up here talking about at 168, they sit up here bringing up some names that, like, bro, listen, the names y'all bringing up at 168, okay, none of them can we say is better than Jamal Charlo. And if you're not going to fight, just as far as I'm concerned, Jamal Charlo is the best fight at 168. Nobody want to see no damn Canelo versus Caleb Plant 2, other than Canelo fans that feel like that's the safer move. And Caleb Plant fans that feel like maybe he might get revenge. Caleb Plant looked completely washed in his last fight. And this is the first time, when you think about it, Caleb Plant was one of those fighters too. Every time you saw him, he's in the gym, kept seeing videos of him train. You don't see this shit no more. These guys have gotten older. They gotten to the point where, the hunger's not the same. Nobody want to see that shit. So Jamal Charlo, who, he fought, then disappeared. I don't see, I feel like these guys have already made good money. And it's not like I have to fight. But the fact of the matter is, none of these guys are as active as they used to be. You get a win, after not fighting for so many years, then you disappear. Don't fight again for a very long time. These guys 35, 36 years old. I mean, how much longer are they going to be around? And my thing is, Jamal, Charlo is undefeated. All right, the dude is undefeated. But they keep bringing up these other names as to who Crawford could fight. Again, you overlook who's there, who's been there. And my whole thing is, Jamal coming up to 168, what was the move for if nothing's going to really happen? So now, without Crawford being there, okay, if Jamal Charlo is ready to pick up the pieces and get back in the ring, I don't know what's going on with these guys. I really don't. And like I said, boxing has just gotten to the point now, it's just like whatever happens, happens, because, it's nothing new. We have been seeing these guys forever now. Come in the ring, then they're not in the ring, they disappear. You got all these new faces pop up, different people coming into the divisions, not much going on. Fights are happening that nobody really cares about. So my thing is, truthfully, once you get to that point in your career, see, and then this is what people are not telling you. And this is why I say every time Roy say this shit to anybody else, I'm like, y'all keep saying this, but y'all not looking at the facts. Y'all are not looking at the facts. Floyd Mayweather beat Andre Berto. He retired. The belts were no longer his. He moved on. He was 38 years old. He came back later at 40, right? He came back and he fought Conor McGregor. No belts on the line. It was just a spectacle of a fight for $300 million. That's not what's happening now. These guys just don't want to fight the top guys. And when they get in there, they're making demands for big money, and they're not even household names yet, if they're ever going to become that. This is not what we're seeing. Then you got these older guys who just financially, they need money. Shane Mosley told a story about how, his ex-wife now, as soon as he retired, whatever, she took him for everything he got, then sold his shit on eBay and all this kind of stuff, right? Yeah, that's why Shane Mosley didn't have them two meaningless fights to come back. They were meaningless to us as far as him climbing the ranks. And he came back talking shit about out of nowhere. Yeah, him and Pacquiao should fight. Then the winner of him and Pacquiao fight Floyd. Yeah, he's trying to get some money. And that's where that shit came from. That's why I see even when Shane Mosley come back talking about, man, niggas sleeping on my couch and shit. You know what I'm saying? And I'm, the fuck? Like, Shane Mosley? Right? All of this, I'm trying to have a new persona. I'm trying to connect with different people. And, like, come on, Shane, that's not even you. You rock a Jerry curl. Stop. Yeah, but you understand what I'm saying? The dude needed money. He wasn't coming back and, I just missed the sport so much I love. No, he needed money. And that's why he had those meaningless fights. They meant something to him because he needed some bread. All right? I need them frog skins. But at the end of the day, what did it mean for the people, the paying customer? What did you think he was going to see, right? And this is what I'm saying. These guys get to a certain age, and they're still fighting. They're still jumping in the ring, trying to fight competitively, embarrassing themselves. Look, Pacquiao came back. He fought against Mario Barrios, right? Let me explain something to you guys. Nobody can beat Father Time. So y'all may still be hanging on to Pacquiao and hoping that, right? Pacquiao go in there and fight somebody and get knocked the fuck out. And then it's like, okay, show's over. Hey, you got to come in Pacquiao, but Pacquiao. Nobody gives a fuck about all the details. The end of the day, for everybody that keep making videos about Floyd, Floyd broke, Floyd losing everything. I see these thumbnails and I'm just sitting there shaking my head like, wow. But these fighters that keep coming back, trying to make money after retiring, then come back, retire, right? We know that they need money. Say Pacquiao must really lose. That's his pen. Nah, shut up. Stop with all the nut sniffing. The dude needs money, and that's what that comes down to. And he was in that 120 million. He got 100 million, 120 million against Floyd. And he's still running back. So this is what I'm saying. All of this stuff that people say and excuses they make up, what y'all better understand is these fighters can get in front of the camera and do all the tough talk they want. But these fighters are trying to get money, and they are scared of, if I lose, it's over. Their corners have to tell them that at times, and some of the fighters know it already on their own. These people are not as brave as they pretend to be. And even for the people who want to jump in there and, yeah, I fight anybody. Yeah, exactly. And their careers end up not going where it should. So you had all this talent that nobody really cares about because you got losses early in your career. Check this out. Shakur Stevenson versus Teofimo Lopez. Now, I don't know about now. Since Jake has been knocked out, I don't know what his numbers are going to like in his next fight if he fights again. I don't know if, how many people said I walked away from him. I don't know how much of his fan base is still there to support him fight. But I can say, if all is the same, you do realize Shakur Stevenson versus Jake Paul would be like a co-main event. You do realize they wouldn't be the headliner, right? Because Jake Paul got the juice. And Jake Paul can headline over them. That's what boxing is. This is what people allowed to happen, man. Imagine motherfucking, you got Mike Tyson versus Holyfield. You got Riddick Bowe versus Lennox Lewis. But the fucking headline is Butterbean, versus Ray Mercer or old washed up Larry Holmes. You understand what I'm saying? Because Butterbean was some sensation. Huh? Or you got those same fights, but you got Kimbo Slice versus Butterbean is the head. Like, no. This is where we are in boxing. That shit would have never happened back in the day, but now, yeah. And so here's the thing. It doesn't matter who wins between Derek Chisora and Deontay Wilder. Me saying that that's the type of guys he should target, a Derek Chisora, a Joe Joyce, a Dillian White. Guys that are just as washed up as him. And that is what I'm saying, because there's no advantage he really have over any of them. All of them look equally as bad. So my point is, that's the best chance he got, and there's people that will make excuses for him and talk like him beating Derek Chisora, Joe Joyce, and a Dillian White is like everything, right? We saw what Moses the Thomas just did to Dillian White. You had Dillian White and Derek Chisora talking back and forth, and Dillian talking about, yo, just signed a contract. I just want to fight. You want to fight? And all that, right? Yeah, a battle of the fucking guys who are way past their primes. So that was my thing. And like I said, this way, if they can talk you, which is not hard to do to these boxing fans, talk you into believing Deontay still got a chance to be champ again. Yeah, and you get behind them and hope that y'all go buy pay-per-view or whatever the fuck, or whatever streaming service or whatever's going to be on. Hope that y'all sit there and partake just to watch him go get stretched the fuck out one last time, and then he can ride off into the sunset with a big payday. And not only that, three decent or nice paydays, against three people before he got to that big bag. Now, what I'm saying, you guys know, beating Dillian White, beating Derek Chisora, and fucking Joe Joyce does not warrant you a fucking title shot at no mother fucking Usyk or whoever's holding the championship. But that's the route that he took. See, his team, I don't know who his handlers are, man. But they're slow, man. Because this process, this is what I'm saying. This is what he should have done from day one. Not Mr. 238. He should have been fighting a Dillian White. This is what I'm saying from day one. A Joe Joyce. This is the type of people he should have been fighting. And by now, Turkey Al-Sheikh or whoever else would be lying to you all, trying to get your money to tell y'all how Deontay's back and all that. Bottom line, this man's a great warrior, and I believe in him, and I believe you're going to see something special. And that he had already done that by now. Now, it's also possible they might wind up beating Deontay Wilder. So it doesn't matter. Even if he wins. Let's say he knocked Derek Chisora out. What does that say? Y'all can go back and tell me, oh, Fury didn't knock him out. And yeah, right, but Fury knocked Wilder out. So, see, none of that shit matters. All these guys are trying to do is get one last paycheck. And if you think anything other than that, and you want to believe different, shoot yourselves. But understand, that's where they are. One last paycheck. This isn't for the fans. This is for their bank accounts. Believe that shit. Because if you think that these motherfuckers are in here really, I want to go out with a bang. I want to go out on my shield. Nah, you wouldn't fight a guy ranked 238. That shows where your confidence was to fight somebody ranked so low. And then also, if you were going to actually fight Usyk, that's when I first heard about the fight. I'm like, Deontay Wilder and Usyk? Here we go again, Why? Again, there's no need for a top 10 if you're just going to hand out title shots. A top 15. Why? What's the purpose of having a ranking system? It's already faulty as it is. People paying, for spots, sanctioning fees and all that. What does all this mean? What does any of this mean? Are you excited for Derek Chisora versus Deontay Wilder? But this is his speed. That's the type of opposition he needs to be fighting. So he can lie to y'all some more, like I said, and they can make you think that something special is going to happen come fight night. As for Usyk, I don't know what he's going to do. I don't know who he plans on fighting. I don't know why he even still feel the need to keep fighting. Because when you look at who's out there, my point, if they're not as good as Fabio, why fight him? If they're not as good as Moses Atama, why fight him? One thing about being in a position where you're number one, you need to prove that. Usyk ain't known for shit talking. But just having a belt and being ranked number one, and there's challenges, like legitimate challenges out there, right? And people that deserve it. I think Fabio deserves it. Whether people want to see it or not, I don't give a shit. Fabio deserves it because he beat the guy that was in line to get a title shot. And he beat him. So how is he not? Again, like I said, imagine the Redskins and the Cowboys playing in the fucking NFC Championship game and the fucking Redskins win. But because America, Cowboys is called America's team, they completely say, hey, we don't give a fuck that the Redskins won. The Super Bowl will be, the fucking, Seattle Seahawks and the fucking, fucking San Diego Chargers and the fucking Dallas Cowboys. Why? The Redskins won. That's what you say, right? How the fuck can they do that? Exactly. There's no structure in boxing. That's exactly why this kind of crap happens. So I don't know what either one of these guys are gonna do. I don't care to see. I don't look, even though like my suggestion doesn't mean I had interest in it. I'm just saying as far as moving Wilder to give him the cushion to not get knocked out because Wilder definitely is not. He's not elite. He's not no elite fighter. He never, even in his prime, he wasn't elite. We know how he got there. We see what his competition was. We know the hype that was around him. We know that people build you and say things, but you keep you away from the guys that you're talking shit about. We already see that. We know that. But what does this do? Like, what does this do? For boxing, what does it do? Nobody's even talking about Usyk and Wilder. Nobody's talking about the fight being all like. Nobody cares. Do you guys realize? Look, let me tell y'all something, man. And y'all need to understand this. Myself, Counterpunch Boxing, salute to Kurt DeVille. There's certain people, Lady Chan. I don't know if Sporting Icons are still doing this. Yeah, Dante's Boxing Nation. There's still certain channels that are out here really giving you boxing news, right? There's certain people out here, okay, giving you the facts and the truth, okay? When your opinion is based off facts and the truth, that means you're eliminating bias. Even these guys coming up, because there's a lot of faces I do not even recognize anymore. Like what the fuck are these guys, right? And they are giving you biased nonsense. Cherish what you have. Enough